you, young boy. How about that? So we're betting on everything now.
Prediction markets. They are websites that, for some reason, exist. When you go to one, you'll find an infinite scroll of real-world events and their possible outcomes on which you can bet your hard-earned inheritance.
No, we don't.
Events like who will Donald Trump talk to in February? Logan Paul first edition Charizard sale price? Will Jesus Christ return before 2027? And
Who
when
is
the
betting on
US
that?
will strike Iran? But to this unholy list of questions, I'd like to add one of my own. Why is this allowed?
And another one is why are people allowed to like promote this without saying it's an ad? You're getting paid to promote Kalshi and Polymarket, and you never disclose as an ad. How is that legal? I thought the whole hashtag ad was like, you know what I'm saying, you get in trouble if you don't do that. But what?
In the rapidly evolving genus of prediction markets, two species stand above them all. Polymarket and Kalshi. These companies are strikingly similar
Kalshi, bro.
beasts who together are largely responsible for the recent prediction markets boom. In just the last year, they've partnered with news agencies and sports leagues, launched massive ad campaigns, and each reached valuations.
Is that not 40? Like, is that not a couple million to like have that?
$10 billion while processing over $1 billion from users.
How are they making
every
this much
week.
money?
Folks, it's prediction markets
$1
world.
billion a week?
And we're living in it.
Prediction markets are the future.
Predictions markets, very hot right now.
Google announcing it will
Is that top
integrate
Jew?
Kalshi's data into their search results.
The
Trying to
NHL
get to them
became
white
the
parties.
first major U.S. pro league to strike licensing deals with prediction market platforms.
An everyday person could liquidate their 401k and bet it on how many times the Chipotle CEO is going to say carne asada in their earnings call.
Prediction markets are going to be the next thing, separating your boyfriend from his salary.
I've been getting into prediction markets and I think more people should be involved.
So we bought $100 that it's gonna go up. I'm locked in.
Yo, I'm watching TJR on my screen here.
But prediction markets weren't always the multi-billion-dollar addiction apps that your husband checks on his phone immediately post-climax. In fact, prediction markets got their start as the insignificant fringe interest of enormous nerds. In 1998, faculty members at the University of Iowa created experimental prediction markets to discover what we could learn from letting people bet on things like the presidential election. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission, which oversees pretty much all trading, let them run the experiment so long as they kept the money dial turned down for non-profit/academia purposes. But now these things are most certainly non-profit. In fact, they're mucho profit. Did you see this coming? This explosion of prediction markets?
Anybody that says they saw this coming is full of shit, I'll tell you that much. It was so small, there was nothing going on in the background.
Dustin Gauker is a reporter who writes Event Horizons, a fantastic newsletter on prediction markets, if I do say so myself. Dustin explained to me why, at its core, the idea of prediction markets is so potentially valuable in the eyes of the world's beta-blocked VC bros.
Information
What is that?
money, right? Information
What's a beta
is
blocker?
super valuable. The more information you can have about world events and what's to come, that information is power. Like if you can tap into that information, then you have something. And again, this is why major financial interests are really getting into this and really find this interesting.
The major financial interests Dustin is talking about.
What is the world right now?
here
Everything's
are,
gambling? That's
among
what I'm
other
saying.
things, investment banks and hedge funds, a few of which are
Time for
hiring
Val.
traders for prediction markets, titans of traditional news media, Venmo, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Donald Trump Jr., who's an advisor.
Yo, why did Giannis actually join Kalshi? Like that was so like that. I had to put him on the hate watch, which now for the next month is turned into a dislike watch. We don't do hate around here. Yes, love and positivity from the one. You feel me? But yeah, Giannis, I don't know what you was thinking, bro. Not only did you just destroy my love for you because you were just like I gotta watch Pods play on my team still because you don't want to come join the Warriors. I have to look at Pods. Like, let's see what he did last night. Because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even watch the Warriors. I was dislike watching the Rockets, and then they just started winning. KD want to have a good game. Nice, KD. Oh, look, the Lakers are winning right now. Nice. Like, why are my dislike watches not doing good, and my team is out here losing? Like, Will Richards my best player. Rookie Will Richards is my best player. This Ninja Pods, let's see how many he dropped yesterday. 11 in 27 minutes. He had 0 plus minus. Wait, no. GP2 was our best player. 75%. 14 points, 18 minutes, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block. GP2. That boy Pat Spencer done stuck up the field. Horford done stuck up the field. Like, what the hell? This is DDG. Pods versus Boston. What a game put me in there. I'm probably doing more. Yeah, no. Mr. Chris Traps, he's out here. Okay, he's doing a little something cool. And then Draymond Green, like I don't know who, I don't know how you're still on the team. You didn't make a single shot. Holy hell, 5 threes, you couldn't make a single 3. Laughable. Like I'm actually 7 shots, you didn't make a single shot. Yo, Draymond. We should have shipped you to the Bucks, man. I think got you back in the offseason, because you stood Draymond Green. But jolly, bro. Hey, but you had a masterclass the game before the All-Star break. And they wasted it, so does it even matter? Like, the whole entire Warriors needs to be bombed at GTA.
To Poly Marketing,
and it's all Giannis'
and
fault.
His daddy, who's social
and then he's gonna join a prediction market. Like, what are you doing, bro? You're an inside trader? Nah.
Platform is making their own prediction market, Truth Predict. The fundamental argument for prediction markets
Trump can make his own.
Is that they tap into the so-called wisdom of crowds, turning them into an extremely accurate predictive tool. The idea is that
let it go to switch to your hometown. Nah, we cool. Let's see what the big Wolves did today. They played the Mavs. Who does the Mavs even have? Like, who's watching Mavs basketball in 2026? Yo, this ninja, bro, Ant dropping 40 today. Wow. Rudy Gobert had 22 points on 81% shooting. Wow. Damn. Oh, Rudy Gobert. What the hell, dude? Rudy Gobert? Golly, me, I'll tell you something here. Dude, the Bucks just R-worded the Pelicans. Holy heckerdoodles. They had 3 players drop damn near 30. Yeah, surely this is real basketball, man. I mean, the Pelicans are DDG, but damn. The Lakers. Yo, Luka got 22 in the first half. Reeves got 14. Braun got 11. Holy hell, bro. Yeah, like, you can't even hate watch people when they're good because the Warriors are DDG. Nice, bro. Pelicans the dumbest team ever. Do they even play my demon? Is Poole even seeing minutes? I'm hearing he a bench sitter right now. Now, he played 25 minutes and got 3 points. Damn, like, that's not even funny because, like, you supposed to be the next phase of my franchise, and you out here being DDG. They really punched the talent out of you? Holy hell. Mr. Zion Williamson had 32 points? I thought Zion's fell off. That's cool. They think they got a playoff contender team? I don't know. If they locked in, maybe. If Poole was out there playing good basketball.
If you get a large number of people betting on something, you're going to approximate the best possible guess at the outcome. With modern prediction markets specifically, this has to do with the sheer number of people betting, but also the types of people betting. Experts and people with inside information could be incentivized to get in on the action. These traits were immediately noted
But they do that in the stock market, you know? I heard Nancy Pelosi can trade in the stock market even though she has insider info. Like, how is that legal? So then like the poly markets and all that is never gonna get unlegalized and illegalized and all that because, bro, they don't give a damn, bro. The more money they can make, the more money they gonna make. Feel me?
In the early 2000s, who noticed that the
they locked in trash
market was actually predicting political outcomes better
than
most
I got Warriors
pollsters.
on my team.
We
bro.
also saw an example of this in the 2024 presidential election, when traditional forecasting methods had the race as a toss-up, but prediction markets saw it as a clear Trump dub. And it's this kind of stuff that has Kalshi claiming their predictions are as good as Wall Street, and as Polymarket CEO Shane Copeland feeling confident enough to talk a big game to this immortal news elf.
And how accurate is it?
It's the most accurate thing we have
immortal news
as
elf.
mankind, right?
Yo, he's looked like that my whole life.
Now, until someone else creates some sort of...
Hold on, this nigga's rich and he mogs, low-key. But you can kind of tell he from He might be one of those. You
Super
feel me?
crystal ball.
But perhaps
Shout out
you're
him.
wondering how the Benny Blanco of Peter Thiel's got away with running this multi-billion-dollar company. I thought prediction markets were supposed to be non-profit. And in Iowa, what happened? Compliance. It can be a scary word. Don't matter if you're a chief information security officer at a goddamn enterprise business, a startup founder, or a plain old employee. But compliance doesn't have to be scary, no ma'am. Not if you choose Vanta. Vanta.
Oh, it's an ad. I'm out here watching this thinking I'm watching something good.
Any of that.
Just switch to Boston, bro. Tatum coming back. I dare Tatum to touch a basketball court. Yo, he was on a Super Bowl ad, I think. Wow, he was looking so good that day. I was like, wow. No, was it a Super Bowl ad? Or was it a... Nah, it was during the All-Star game. Yeah, they had him on the screen on the All-Star game. I remember that, and I was like, damn, bro. He mogging everybody. Holy. I can't let him touch a court.
Over at Vanta for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get back to it. Now, quick lesson on legalized
He
gambling.
mogging, and he trying to act like his life is over just because he got hurt. You're 100 multimillionaire, quadrillionaire, and you mog. Your life's not over, JT, bro. Stop trying to be like us, bro. You still got a future, bro. You come back, you hit another max contract, bro. What? You just want to, like, come on, man.
Gambling for you.
Come on, man.
United States, if
We
you're
all
gonna create
Tatum
a
riders?
gambling product,
Nah.
First off, great idea. You're going to
No way.
become here in the United States if you're going to it. Now, quick lesson on legalized gambling for you. Here in the United States, if you're going to create a gambling product, first off, great idea. You're going to become a trillionaire. But second of all, you're going to need to hire a high-functioning team of cold, heartless lawyers to machete their way through jungles of red tape to launch said gambling product. It took the sports betting
it's illegal?
industry years and years of lobbying and groundwork to launch their products.
Lobbying?
Because gambling is regulated by the
What?
states, not the federal government, so they had to do the whole process state by state. And they've still got 11 more states to go. But Kalshi and Polymarket, these cats work smarter, not harder. They looked at everything you have to do to legally launch a gambling product and said, but what if it wasn't a gambling product? Dustin, how's this shit not illegal?
That's a big question. That's the question everybody's grappling with right now. It's legal because it's federally regulated under the Commodity Futures Trading Commission.
Now, if you'll remember,
What does that mean?
good people over at the Commodity Futures Trading Commission who oversee futures and other derivatives trading, not juicy enough. Excellent. Basically, prediction markets like
Hey, yo,
Kalshi and
Mud, was that a
Polymarket
man?
consider themselves
Hold
to be
on now.
closer to the IO electronics market than DraftKings. By this logic, their argument to the CFTC is that what they offer
stop,
isn't a
Mud, like,
gambling
stop,
product,
bro.
but instead markets to trade futures contracts on real-world events that have meaningful economic consequences.
We're a neutral, transparent financial market. We're like the New York Stock Exchange.
Right. What is the difference between gambling and prediction markets?
There hasn't been a single financial derivative that has been set up in the US or otherwise that hasn't been called gambling at the beginning.
Now, we're starting to get into some sticky legal
What in the-
territory
ooh, ooh,
here,
ooh.
and if I'm keeping
I
it
know what you
100,
are.
I do not 100% comprendo. And whenever that happens, I'm always sure to call up a professor of business law at Seton Hall Law School.
I'm a professor of business law at Seton Hall Law School.
Home of the...
Home of basketball players.
Glenn, what's your mascot? What's your mascot you got over there?
I should know this, but...
You don't know? We'll edit that part out. So home of the...
Pirates.
There we go. I tasked old Ilya Balin here with translating the legalese by which Polymarket and Kalshi
This
argue
is,
they're permitted to
amazing
operate
video
their
here, the
platforms
editing.
across the country.
I like
the
this.
instruments that prediction markets use are styled as derivatives, and they can be styled as swaps. They can also potentially be styled as futures or options, but irrespective of which derivative they're styled as, once they're characterized as a derivative, they, subject to some considerations, can be listed on a derivatives exchange. This goes back to late 1800s, early 1900s. A major exchange, the Chicago Board of Trade, and there were a few other exchanges too. It was hosting some real trading in grain in the years of the Civil War, foodstuffs. It also started trading what are called futures, a certain grade of a commodity at a certain price at some future date. And these were the first exchange-traded derivatives we saw in the U.S.
His words were going in my mouth and up to my brain with a speed and complexity I was frankly uncomfortable with. I needed to reestablish control. I just want to let you know, no matter how hard you try, I'm right there with you.
I love it.
I know it might not look like it, but mentally, I'm exactly where you are.
I like walking.
I'm here too,
odd
man. I'm here too,
woods
man.
And companies good in them.
I'm in.
I don't know what he's talking about. He's not really explaining. Derivatives? What's a
If
derivative?
it's economic function and utility, that's the key to legalization here. How come I'm looking on prediction markets and there's a 5% chance that Jesus is going to come back?
Yeah, and it's a great question.
Thank you.
The explanation is drift. The explanation is regulatory drift. And
what does that mean?
You start at a place where something makes a lot of sense. And then circumstances evolve and products, financial products, as all these evolutions are taking place, they change.
Yeah, I don't know what he's yapping about, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually mad confused. Like, he's just saying words just to say words. I don't even know the point of the video anymore, to be honest with you. I think I'm lost.
Each step, the new one sort of resembles the status
Explain
quo,
that? I
but
can't.
The steps get further and further from that core, including the core purposes that an instrument, at the time it was brought into the regulatory system, was designed to serve.
Thank you, Ilya. That was beautiful. But it also alludes to why, again, this all feels like it shouldn't be allowed.
So, like, the next steps in which you can gamble was never gambling. It was always misgambling. And the institution in which it was actually processed through was always derivatized through the derivatives of which the regulation was never put in place. You feel me?
I think my problem with Kalshi has been they tell us that none of what they're doing is gambling. That's the big thing. The argument is, so under the CFTC, everything has an economic consequence. If you're allowing event contracts, it has to have an economic consequence, right, in the world.
Buzzword, but no.
Everything has an economic consequence.
Saying
I can invent an economic consequence for everything. But yeah, there's this line of things that are really important markets, Fed interest rate cuts, the price of Bitcoin. These are things that are like very easy to diagnose. They have an economic consequence in the world. All these other things are more just for betting and speculation. And again, like we have these things because there hasn't been a whole lot of thought. Kalshi insists everything's an event. Everything can be traded, and there you go. You get everything in the world. And again, the CFTC has just kind of said, sure, it's all an event. We're not going to stop you.
And amongst the events that take place daily in our world, there is none bigger than sports, which dominate prediction market volume and make them seem pretty gambly. Kalshi in particular has made a big push into sports, which has been a huge source
How are they
of
not
growth.
getting
The
sued?
number's constantly changing, but as of late 2025, about 90% of the fees Kalshi was collecting on trades came from sports. Trades like taking Los Angeles L over New York K in pro basketball. Clearly, day and night, from gambling on the Los Angeles Lakers to beat the New York Knicks on DraftKings. And if you're thinking, well, gee, Dan, Kalshi's argument for this not being sports gambling is feeling pretty thin, well, when they first launched sports contracts, they literally ran ads saying sports betting is now legal in all 50 states. Kalshi.
I remember that ad. I remember, like, I was doom scrolling and I would continue them seeing AI ads of them saying sports betting is legal. Nice. And I don't know. I think they got sued for that. That's why they stopped doing that. I think. I don't know if I actually heard this, but I definitely, you know what I'm saying? Facts. Will he stop being a child? Let me know who want to bet. Now we cool.
She has now distanced themselves from this language, but come on. Let's zoom out from the nitty-gritty and activate common sense mode here. The vast majority of people think that sports contracts are gambling and not financial contracts. God damn it, I even found a guy who's pretty much a professional prediction markets trader, and even he thinks it's ridiculous these things aren't classified as gambling.
On Kalshi, I got $250,000, and I'm out of cash constantly because there's so much stuff to trade on every single day.
So you've made $250,000 on Kalshi? Or that's what you currently have?
That's what I currently have. I think I'm at like 550,000 or 560,000 in pre-earnings there, and I really started in March of 2024. I've been asked by companies to respond to reporters and say that it's not gambling, and it's like, well, I don't really believe that, so look for somebody else.
Gambling.
If you're arguing that it's not
do the
gambling,
thing, yeah, surely, bro.
You got a tough
I'm a sophisticated reactioner.
But there's different types of gambling.
I'm
like
giving my reaction here.
Flipping a coin and calling it, there's no skill to that, right? It's 50-50. You're right or you're wrong. But something like a poker or prediction markets or the stock market. There's ways to give yourself an edge. So you have to have an edge of some sort. If you're an idiot, you're probably not going to do well. So you've got to have some level of intelligence.
Idiots are not going to do well in these.
I would recommend, if you're an idiot, do not join this unless you want to just lose money for fun.
Ultimately, law has to be about the people, not the legal. What's the difference when
I guess I can't
wager
join
on the Red Sox game on, say, FanDuel versus Kalshi? Why is one gambling and the other legitimate financial activity that's regulated by the federal government? Because a laywoman can't come up with a good justification for that distinction. I think we're sort of in real trouble.
To be clear, I don't think prediction markets should be banned. I think that there is some value, and I think people should be able to interact with them how they want, but I do think that the regulation around them has to shift.
New correspondent is Kyla
Ban
Stamler,
them.
an author and economics commentator who recently published an op-ed about the dangers of prediction markets in some rag called the New York Times.
I try to stay away from good and bad as words, but I think the reason it might be something to be cautious
Flip that
about
little 18
is
on
because
to
of
like
what the platforms
13,000.
incentivize, which is that insider trading. They also have a lot of really questionable markets. So, there's markets on whether or not the leader of Iran will be overthrown. There's markets on all of these things that maybe, again, we shouldn't be betting on. And so there's sort of this validation that the mainstream outlets are providing to prediction markets when they do.
If betting is gambling, then how is this not gambling? They should be gambling. So I don't know how that, I don't know where the logic is gets blurred. Where's the gray area? Are we just all being dumb on purpose?
Partner with
Let me know, bro.
And talk about the odds as sort of this consensus reality, like this thing that we should all accept is happening because there's bets that it's going to happen. I'm not saying that people are wrong for doing this. It makes sense, and I think it ties into the broader issue of financial nihilism, where people feel like they can't get ahead, so they might as well go bet on all of this stuff. But that creates further desensitization too. So I think
can they hurry up, bro? I actually gotta pee.
I'm
not gonna lie to you.
But becoming more
Somebody bet
attached
on
to
when I
a
will
leader
pee.
getting overthrown because you have money on the line. I think that psychologically and morals are tough, but that's a tough one to process, right?
Yeah. Indeed, it seems to me that what these prediction market companies are doing isn't so much capitalizing on their potential economic value, but rather the general chaos of our world, fueled by a never-ending media cycle and the crippling gambling addiction me and the boys developed after
I got insider
parlaying
trading
on Aaron
info
Rodgers.
on when I'm gonna pee, so you're actually gonna lose money because I'm gonna go pee earlier than 50 on next minute you go pee.
Well, back in 2011.
There's 2 more minutes on this video, so there goes your money, bro. There goes your money.
100 fluid ounces of VC-backed cash steroids. It's a brass strategy. But will that strategy work out for them in the long run? Seems to be a gamble they're willing to take. You can bet on that.
Yeah, I think they're gonna actually fall off in the next 3 years, to be honest.
Casino.
Or get regulated.
For good work, I'm Dan Toomey.
No. Yeah, well, that's how it works, man. Wait, no, come back. I need another 2 minutes.
Have you ever placed a Kalshi wager yourself?
No.
Who do you think's going to open for Bad Bunny at halftime? Do you think it's going to be TT Me Pregunto or Ballet Inolvidable?
I'm going to
guess which song he's going to play first.
Oh.
Shit. Okay. What song do you think Bad Bunny's going to play first at halftime? Is it going to be TT Me Pregunto?
Yeah.
Or Ballet Inolvidable?
I lack expertise in that question. That might not be a market I wager on.
Sounds like TT Me Pregunto is what you're going for here.
All right.
I'll put
Hope you win.
$100.
How did they know Lady Gaga was gonna be there? That was the most random.